Do not listen to this recording while you are driving or operating other heavy machinery. And welcome to the guided meditation, The Inn of Many Rooms. You start this journey on a wooded path, worn from years of use and travelers heading to and fro. The woods are dense around you, and through the trees you can see the silver gleam of the moon and the twinkling of the stars above. As the night settles in, you begin to get tired and are yearning for a place to rest your head for the night. Almost as if by magic, as soon as the thought enters your mind, you begin to hear soft music ahead of you on the path. As you continue to walk up the path, the music gets louder until you spot a tavern in the distance. The gentle chimney smoking, upbeat music playing, and a warm glow of candlelight ushers you towards the door. As you approach this comfortable, warm-looking inn, you see a sign on the front door reading, "The Inn of Many Rooms." Happy to find a warm place to rest for the night, you move past the sign and walk through the doorway. As you walk in, you're greeted by the crackling of a fire and the gentle noise of a fiddle playing in the background. Around the fire sits a variety of friendly-looking creatures, some human, some not, with elves and dwarves scattered amongst them. In the corner, you see a bard quietly playing the same song you had heard outside on the path. Just as you are taking this comfortable scene in, a woman approaches you. She is a hobbit, just up to your knees. She smiles up at you and welcomes you in to the inn. She smiles at you as she asks if this is your first time coming to the Inn of Many Rooms. When you tell her it is, her smile widens and she hands you a large gold key. Go up the stairs to the left, one by one enter the doors and find a new kind of rest. With that, she leaves you. As you begin to recall that you don't remember seeing a staircase, you notice the music has stopped and the chatter has died down. Suddenly, you are alone in the tavern. The fireplace's jumping flames have been frozen in place, and where the bard once stood, there is now a simple wooden staircase. You come to a hallway lined with 4 doors, and as you enter, you are struck with the knowledge that you should enter them one at a time in the order they are lined up for you. So you turn to the closest door and take a look. The first door is unassuming. It is a worn brown wood, but hammered into its weathered surface is an immaculately carved sign with the word forgiveness on it, and a small glyph representing the element of water. Before you are even conscious of doing it, you place the gold key into the lock and open the door. The door closes behind you, and you find yourself in a beautifully lush garden. Hedges and rose bushes form paths alongside you, and when you turn around to close the door, you realize it is gone. In its place is a long expanse of the same garden, with nothing to indicate that there was ever a door there in the first place. With the door missing, you turn back around to take in your surroundings. The smell of jasmine blooming in the distance and the sounds of a small bird roosting in the trees fills you with a sense of calm. Suddenly, your eyes fall upon a fountain in the middle of the garden, and you notice all the pathways marked out in the garden lead to this center fountain. Heading towards it, you realize that the fountain is not in motion. Where sprouts of water would be, there is an empty platform and a still pool of water resting undisturbed below it. As you ponder this seemingly half-made fountain, you notice a small set of stairs leading up to the empty fountain platform above the pool of water, and you walk up to stand atop it. As you stand in the center of the platform, you look down into the pool below. From this angle, you see there is a writing along the rim of the basin. It says, "Renewing water, heart and mind, release your anger, that self-held bind." As you read the inscription, suddenly images appear on the water of people or events with which you have been holding back negative feelings. You know as soon as you see them that you are being given an opportunity to say to them what you have been holding back and to release whatever needs to be released, to forgive them and move on. As you speak out to these images, water begins to gently flow out of your open hands into the water, bringing the fountain to life. Repeat this exercise until you feel all grudges, hurts, and pent-up feelings have been released and the image is still. Once you have released all that has been keeping you away from forgiveness and letting go, you hear a bell ring and see that the door to the hallway has reappeared. You go back through the garden and into the hallway, feeling lighter and more full of joy than you had when you entered, and you feel ready and excited to approach the next door down the hall. The next door looks just like the last, made of the same weathered brown wood. An immaculate sign is also nailed here, reading gratitude, and appears to have a glyph for the element of earth. Again, you push the key into the lock and enter. Once inside, you find yourself in another garden, but this time it is different. This is a garden for fruits, vegetables, and greens. It is full of raised planting beds, all overflowing with fruits and vegetables. Here there is no path, only small gaps between the beds. It smells delightful, like wet earth and tomato greens. You wander listlessly through the garden, smiling at the zucchini, pumpkins, and grapes as you pass them, taking in the seasonless abundance of the garden around you. As you wander, you suddenly come upon a bed that is empty. You kneel down before it and place your hands within the warm, rich earth. As you dig around, enjoying the feeling of the earth in your hands, you come upon a small piece of paper that seems to have been buried within the raised garden bed. As you unfurl it, it reads, "Nothing feeds the soul more than gratitude for what already is." Below the message is a picture. It is a small line drawing depicting a human planting a row of small seeds they seem to be holding in their hand. As you take in the drawing, you begin to feel a small pile of seeds materialize into your left hand, just as the picture depicts. With the seeds arrives a knowledge of what to do. You know you must dig a small hole with your finger in the dirt. Think with gratitude about something in your life, such as a person, a situation, or a memory that you feel grateful for. Once you have the image in your head, you must place the seed within the hole, cover it up, and repeat. Let your mind be filled with gratitude. Although the bed is not large, there seems to be an infinite space to place seed after seed, each one strengthening the positive energy of the next. The seeds do not run out until you yourself have planted with grace all that you are grateful for. When your seeds are gone and you have planted all that brings you joy, a small cloud, just the size of the bed, appears above it, releasing a gentle spring rain upon your new garden bed. As the rain slows to a stop, you see green sprouts begin to poke out of the ground. Rapidly, your seeds grow and change, evolving before your eyes into a lush bed of greenery and fruiting vines. As the first fruits begin to bud and grow, you hear a familiar bell ring again, and the door to the hallway appears. Emptied of your grudges and filled with thanks and joy, you move excitedly to the next door. Again, the worn wood is framed by a bold sign reading "Release," with the glyph of fire below it. Again, you place the key in the lock and push the door open. When you enter, you find yourself in a dense and dark forest. The only light around you is a blazing bonfire that seems to have been burning for millennia. Its warmth is friendly and inviting, the intensity much lower than you would expect from such a large fire. Even standing an inch away casts no more than a gentle and comforting warmth upon your face. As you enjoy the calm repose of the ancient fire, you see a signpost a foot away. It reads, "Strings will keep you tied in place. Let the fire break your ego's face." Like the fountain of forgiveness, there appears 3 small steps leading over the barrier of the fire pit and into the flames themselves. As you approach the fire, you know the flames are harmless. You can feel them nipping at your skin with a gentle tingle. As you move closer up the stairs, you get the sense that something very important may happen here. You think about the message on the sign. Ego. It's a word you may have thought about before. You may have a part of you that is fearful or defensive or that judges others. We all do. It is how we survive. But now is the time to release that fear-based shadow and create more space for the true, loving, higher self to move in. With that knowledge, you step forward into the flame. It is comfortingly warm, gentle, and light. You feel your skin begin to tingle, and a laugh begins to roll up from your belly. You know that you are more than fear, more than judgment and defensiveness. In the yellow light, you surrender to the flame around you and laugh as you sit in the joyful presence of your higher self. Gradually, the light around you pulls back to the size of a small fire. You are able to step easily out onto the other side, and as your feet touch back upon the forest floor, a bell rings and you walk towards the door back to the hallway. Back in the hallway, you see there are only 2 doors left. The one next in line against the wall, and one at the dead end of the hallway. You look up to the one beside you to see the familiar sign, this time reading trust, with an air glyph underneath. With the past 3 doors done and experienced, you don't hesitate to enter this last door. When you enter, you are suddenly standing on the edge of a cliff. It is a beautiful sunny day. A cool breeze bends the long grass that surrounds you, and you enjoy the view of rolling hills and the drop before you, looking down onto a steadily streaming river. You look around for a signpost, engraving, or message like the ones before, and you are surprised to find that there are no instructions in this room. Instead, you look across from where you are standing. 100 feet over the river below is another cliff face like the one you are standing on. And right in the middle of its overlook, there is a door. Inspecting the area, you see nothing but the rolling hills, the steady river, and the gap between you and the door. There is no bridge, rope, or ladder, just the air between you. As you sit for a moment, feeling the breeze across your face, you remember that the name of this room is Trust. How does trust help you here? What does trust mean to you? Is trust something that comes easily, or is it difficult to trust the world around you to be supportive and safe? Myths, stories, and holy texts abound with stories of trust, of impossible situations made possible only by the protagonist's ability to have faith in the world around them. You sit down on the soft grass, close your eyes, and repeat the word trust in your head, using it as a mantra, repeating it until you lose its meaning and find it again. Gradually, you open your eyes and you notice that you are in the middle of the gap between cliff faces, standing gracefully above the river below you. Although no bridge has appeared, no rope, you stand solidly amid the air above the river. You take a step to close the gap between you and the door ahead. As your foot comes down, you find the air beneath you as solid as stone, supportive and safe. With each step, your trust grows, and you begin to stride easily across the air, feeling confident in its ability to hold you. In moments, you are at the door. A bell rings, and you walk through. As you re-enter the hallway, you notice all but the final door at the dead end has disappeared. The key no longer dangles from your wrist. The walls are smooth and featureless, and before you is a door, the same as the others, but without sign, glyph, or lock. With the trust still built within you from the previous room, you push the door open and walk through. As you step through this final door, you find yourself in darkness. You begin to hear the sounds of the room around you that you were in when you had started this meditation. The sounds of everyday life fill your ears as you feel the bed or chair or floor beneath you once more. You start to wiggle your toes and fingers, bringing awareness back to your body, and when you are ready, you open your eyes.